And welcome back for This Week in Wrestling, guys. I am Deputy Adam, and this is...
Sheriff Champ.
That's what you're going with.
Sheriff Champ. I am the law in this town, sir. I put in my application for Marshal. They haven't gotten back to me yet, so I gotta stick with Sheriff.
I hope you don't get it.
And I'm gonna be U.S. Marshal Champ.
Okay, there.
Yippee-ki-yay.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
The champ's obligated in his contract with Die Hard to say it.
You only get one cuss word to say, and you're going to use it on that.
What? Yippee-ki-yay, hoo-ha?
Oh, you're going somewhere else with that now. Okay. Alright, guys. So, as you see, this is October. We are celebrating Halloween.
Brocktober.
It's Brocktober.
Brocktober.
And we are celebrating Halloween, so we are here dressed in our Halloween costumes. I don't take off my hat. It's surgically attached to my head.
Yes. Just like my sunglasses are surgically attached to my face. With moments of removal time. Moments.
Yeah. But that's what we got going on. So, we got This Week in Wrestling. Ready to get to it?
Champ's born ready.
Oh yeah, I have a question for you. How was your 50 city tour in 30 hours?
Oh, it went so well. We actually had a schedule. I snuck in 10 extra cities. The champ was able to surprise 10 lucky cities, and I'm working on something big right now. Next is going to be I'm going to do what I like to call the United Nations tour. I'm going to hit all the nations possible in a 3-day time span. The champ's going to go for 3 days. He's going to hit as many nations as possible. 3 days.
You got to be doing a lot of something.
No, it's just a champ. And I set a world record too, by the way, on my 60 city and 30-hour tour. Most autographs signed in one time span. I'm going to get that paper in the mail from the Guinness Book of World Records. You'll be seeing it in the next upcoming book.
Okay, let's move on. So, This Week in Wrestling was very interesting, to say the least. We came off of Clash of Champions, and it's always a good week coming off of Clash of Champions, or coming off of pay-per-view, because the ratings are usually going to do well. Raw got an extra 100,000 people coming in. SmackDown still did about 2 million continuous viewers. Congratulations, you guys. Keep it up, SmackDown. You're doing extremely well.
Outdoing Raw.
Yeah, outdoing all major brands. NXT, AEW, TNA. I know you don't understand what those things are. Those are other wrestling promotions.
Yeah, the champ only recognizes the champ's wrestling promotion.
Got it. So, doing really well. Really good, guys. Thank you very much for keeping it up. Raw, I felt kind of flat this week to me.
Yeah, the champ feels that Raw was just more just continuing with old stories because they really don't have anything new set to go with. I mean, it was just kind of a revisit. And obviously, I mean, things going on in the world, obviously. We'll touch on it, but, with the Hurt Business still feuding with, Apollo Crews, Mustafa, and Ricochet. And I think that's just because right now Retribution is going to be put on the down low for a little bit with, certain medical issues floating around the Performance Center with a lot of the NXT superstars.
About 19 reasons.
Yeah. So, so that, and with their roster cut they did.
Yeah, the big roster cut.
So they don't have much to work with. But never fret, because we do have the draft coming up, which is going to shake some things up.
You beat me to the punch.
Yeah, let the champ tell you that, there might be some big surprise changes just to, shake it up for the world.
Yeah, and they kind of need... I was going to talk about it at the end of the show, but forget it. You already went over it. It's going to be a lot of changes that are going to really, really help the two major brands. Unfortunately, NXT is probably going to be the most affected by it, because... they are the developmental brand. That's what happens.
Yeah, but we'll touch more on that in the show. Let's get back to Raw.
Like I said, it felt like a big rerun show from Clash of Champions and kind of the previous weeks before that. We had Asuka taking on Zelina Vega in a Clash of Champions rematch, which wasn't a bad match per se, but you could tell that they just kind of recycled from what they did the night before.
Yeah.
It wasn't really anything very special. Yeah, we had the Hurt Business taking on Apollo Crews, Mustafa, and
Ricochet.
Another recycle match. The Hurt Business needs to feud with somebody
Big.
They need something big to kind of play with them because they are on a hot streak. Give them something to play with. Not play with. They give them something to work with. To keep going with them. You did have Keith Lee coming out, and he won his match on Raw against Andrade in a really interesting match.
Big things in Keith Lee's future.
Yeah, it was really interesting because as we're going into that match, Andrade comes out and he's talking a bunch of smack to Selena, and we finally got an update on Angel Garza. It is an ankle injury.
So probably snapped the old ankle.
I don't know what he
super
snapped.
High sprain, maybe a little torn Achilles action.
Yeah, but he'll be out for a hot minute. They called it a leg injury. You do your research; it's an ankle. But yeah, then that happened, and then to start the show, we had the legends come out and kind of thank Drew McIntyre. What I mean by the legends, we had Big Show, Christian, Rick, and HBK.
Yeah.
You kind of say thank you, sorry we got involved, but we did, and I felt like it was nice, and I think that's where it should have ended. But of course, WD doesn't like to do that, so they had him up in the skybox somewhere in the Amway Center, and they had their thing going on.
Playing poker?
Yeah, they're playing some poker.
Texas Hold'em.
Ric Flair took all the money.
Of course, Dirty's playing the game.
Dirty's playing the game.
Take it over to poker.
Woo! But then, throughout the whole night, they were going back up there, showing what's going on, and you knew something big was going to happen. We just didn't know what it was. And WWE, real good job with the the foreshadowing.
Yeah,
that was really good. I did not expect it. Good job. Then you had probably the next big talking point. You had the Mysterio family with King out there doing his best imitation of the Maury show.
Yeah. But they didn't pull out the part everyone was looking for is find out who the father was.
Yeah, no one knows who the father is. But what they figured out is that Aaliyah, is it Aaliyah or Aaliyah?
Either one, whichever one you prefer.
Rey Mysterio's daughter has been DMing back and forth with Murphy.
Who slid into whose DMs though? Was it Murph?
He slid into her DMs.
McMurphin?
Yeah, McMurphin slid into
that's
her
his
DMs.
name.
And I know I'm gonna point out the big elephant in the room. Yes, Murphy is 32, and Aaliyah is 19. Okay, guys, this is a big soap opera. Okay, You got to remember that.
Yeah, or to go with the theme, good Western.
Yeah, it's an old-fashioned Western movie, and you gotta take your real life senses out of this.
Yes, drop the disbelief.
Yeah, because yes, that is the real age difference, but they are not doing like anything on the other side. Can you tell your neighbors to?
No, it's sorry. The Champs dogs are feeling a little playful right now, so they're running amok around the other room. So excuse the Champs dogs. I'll have words with them after this, but continuing.
They, it's story. Get over it.
Yeah,
it's story. They showed the DMs. It was very lighthearted. It wasn't even anything major. It was just like, hey, if you need the dog, I'm here for you. Thank you very much. I may take you up on that. Oh, and happy birthday.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, oh my God, I need you so badly.
Yeah. No,
it wasn't that.
It was just McMurphin, just doing the subtle slide.
And then it goes on to then have Dominic versus Murphy later on in the night. And in which, again, Dominic loses again. Okay, WWE, he can't keep losing. If he keeps losing, we are not going to think of him as a real threat.
He really isn't, though. He hasn't really cut his teeth in anything yet to really,
No, and I understand that, but that's what I'm saying. He needs to win something.
He needs to go to NXT.
Champ
said he needs to go to NXT.
Well, he may get drafted. All you know, to NXT.
He may get drafted to NXT, that's
but
right.
They may cut the storyline in half here.
Hey, you know what? It hasn't stopped WWE before from drafting someone to a different brand and keeping the story going on a different brand.
Very true on that one, sir.
Remember, they made the wild card rule at one point in time.
Oh, bad rule.
Yeah, and it was just the Roman Reigns rule.
Yeah,
where he could be on both shows.
Yeah, basically.
Before he had horse teeth.
You still got it in, didn't you?
Yep.
Okay, so then we go on to the main event of the night, which was. Help me out here.
It was what was the main event of the night?
I don't remember. See, that's how
we're unorganized here. We apologize.
Yeah.
The champ has a very busy schedule. His multi-city tour, his multiple nation tour. It's just it's rough. It's rough on the champ.
I remember. It was glorious. That's what it was.
Oh, that's right. The return of the glorious one,
Bobby Roode.
Bobby Roode. It was against Drew
McIntyre
Apple
for the title because he put it on the line as an open challenge. Bobby Roode back.
Yeah, the glorious one. Looking a little thick.
A little thick. Sick pack isn't there, but he's been quarantined.
Maybe he's going for the dad bod look.
Maybe he is.
Maybe. And then we had the segment of the night there with the legends upstairs in the poker room at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Randy Orton popping his head in there. Lights going off. They turn back on. And all the legends are on the floor, and Randy Orton is standing there, all wholesome.
Yeah.
I think there's a long con in this story.
There is.
I think there's a long con that's going to be to the Royal Rumble.
Maybe you probably are correct in that statement, but I would have liked this shot differently. Not the turn off the lights, put on my night shift goggles, and then go to town on the legends. What it should have just been is that Randy Orton pops in, says some howdy doody line, and then just starts beating up on the legends. That's what should have happened. Because what we got was a little too cartoonish.
Right, but Randy Orton does come prepared, like the champ, with instant equip night vision goggles in case the lights do just randomly flick off.
Oh, is that what those things are?
Yeah, there's night vision built into these bad boys.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. You can see everything all the time.
Yeah.
Nothing ever sneaks up on the champ.
What about that?
It can't sneak. It can try.
Oh, okay.
It could sneak up on the champ, but it still can't sneak up on the champ.
All right.
Yeah.
So then we move on to SmackDown.
Yes, SmackDown.
SmackDown has been doing such a great job with storytelling, with just putting on a great production. It's been great to watch good story-based wrestling going on, and then having the good payout at the end.
Yeah, I think they've been getting more of the push, too, since they're on Fox, which is the bigger network.
Yeah.
And by far their bigger contract than with the USA Network. But,
we digress for that. But we have Roman Reigns come out and start the show, and Paul Heyman gets on the microphone, and he's introducing Roman Reigns as the tribal chief. He's giving him that Brock Lesnar entrance.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden Roman just puts out his hand, and Roman Reigns stops in his heels and puts the microphone in his hand. He says, "You do not call me that. He didn't call me that. I want to talk to my cousin." And Jay comes out, and Jay does a very good job of just staring at the title the entire time. And Roman says, "Is this all you want? Fine, you can have a rematch." So they're going to have a rematch at Hell in a Cell, which is going to probably be
brutal.
It's going to be brutal.
It better be brutal. If it's not brutal, I'm going to be so mad. Champ's going to be mad. Furious. The champ.
This is one of those times where WWE can do blood.
Yeah. No, the WWE should definitely allow them to get some color out there, hard style, and even soft style. And you know what? Maybe, let them grace with the presence of the illustrious chair shot to the dome piece.
I don't think we're ever going to get another straight up chair shot to the dome anymore.
Well, if they can get, this, if WWE's going to allow it, this is the time to do it. Because the last time we saw one was when Randy Orton hit Daniel Bryan, and they did it without telling anyone, and they both received a fine for doing it.
True.
But I'm sure if they brought it up for the sake of good story, they'll get one of their easily flimsable, metal chairs. Still going to hurt. Still got to put your hands up. But, this is going to be one of those times where you allow that. Maybe a one-man can chair toe.
Maybe. But this is going to be something really interesting. He is going to literally beat the respect out of Jay.
Yeah.
Like,
he's gonna just woo.
Yeah, it's gonna be nasty.
Yeah.
It's gonna be very nasty, and I am looking all sorts of forward to it.
Yes, and by the way, side note, people out there, did you see what The Rock said?
What did The Rock say?
The Rock said he would be willing to come back and do a WrestleMania match with his cousin.
He did say that.
Senior Horse Teeth.
So are you saying that that's what we're building up to?
Yes. WrestleMania, it will be, by the time WrestleMania comes around, it's going to be right here in Los Angeles. The Rock's out here in Los Angeles all the time now because that's where Hollywood is. So he's going to be out here anyways. They're going to finally allow people back. It's going to be at SoFi Stadium. The champ's going to be there. And The Rock has to be there. That match would be huge.
I need to tell you something. I really did not want to do this to you because I know you didn't hear about it. WrestleMania Hollywood has been canceled. Yeah. Because our good old Governor Gavin Newsom is saying that we probably won't have live events at that point, so they're thinking about going back to Raymond James Stadium.
Or a redo in Tampa Bay?
Yeah.
And then coming back to LA?
I don't know.
The champ is not depressed.
I know. I was very depressed.
Vince! We know you're listening. You have ways to get around this. We know you do. WrestleMania Hollywood can still happen.
Or just send us 2 tickets.
Yeah, just 2.
Actually, no, 4 tickets.
4, yeah.
We need 4 tickets.
4.
1 for Mrs. Champ, and then 1 for...
The champ's cut out.
No, I was gonna try to tease the new entry into the channel, but...
Oh, yeah. We can sub him into instead of the cardboard cutout of the champ. So, yeah.
That's your tease for the week, people.
Yes. Tease.
Yeah, I didn't want to bring it up. I was gonna bring it up at the very end of the night, but you brought it up. Yeah, they're thinking about doing Raymond James Stadium because they didn't get their pay-per-view. They didn't get WrestleMania, and then maybe moving it back towards Hollywood again when they can reopen everything. But right to Gavin Newsom, people in California, we want WrestleMania.
We want it. We want it now.
Okay?
But let's get back on top of the hand. The Rock is going to wrestle Roman Reigns at WrestleMania.
I agree with you 100%.
At this one, it's going to happen. It's going to be the People's Champ versus the Horse-Tooth Champ. And,
oh my God, call him the Horse-Tooth Champ.
And
where's your line of jokes for Roman Reigns?
It just flows naturally, bro.
Oh my God, call him the Horse-Tooth Champ.
Yeah.
Do you take him? Do you ride him around?
What's that?
Do you ride him around? Is he your white steed?
You mean he's my what's the word here? My valiant Shetland pony.
Oh, it's terrible. Oh, it's good. Oh, we better move on or we're going to get in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
We move on to the rest of Smack. God, I can't believe you said that. Jay then went on to have a match versus AJ Styles, which was really good. And Jay also showed to have a lot of more aggression to him as well.
Yes.
I don't know if this is going to be something he's going to probably try to bring out in the Hell in a Cell match, or this was just him being aggressive because of what happened in the promo before.
I think it's a good breakout for him to kind of differentiate and separate him from his brother more, because they're both very similar in styles. Obviously, being twins, looking alike, you have to do something to distinguish yourself from one another. And yes, they do it with the different hairdos, but I mean, even then, it's still tough to remember sometimes which one is which because they look identical.
They are identical twins.
Yeah, but I mean, like the epitome of like identical. Like, like
well,
you could
I thought it was
swap one out with the other, and you think they'd play pranks on their wives or significant others?
God, that'd be funny though.
That'd be good.
Can you imagine I think it's Jimmy's married to Naomi. If Jay just like, what's up?
Yeah, they just swap on each other, mess with them. God, that'd be great. But Usos, if you watch this, you have a good prank on your hands now. Yeah. April 1st isn't too far away. But I think it's a good way to differentiate him from his brother, maybe even a breakout as a single star, because they've been a tag team for their whole career in there. I'm not saying you have to break them up entirely and make them enemies against one another, even though that could be a great storyline as well.
Yeah, that could be another great one.
But have them go on singles runs, and then, kind of like with Edge and Christian, they kind of pushed Edge on the singles run and then turned Christian as the heel, so you can do that.
You can play a lot of story with that.
But we digress again.
But yeah, it was a really good match. We move on, and they finally show who the mystery woman was. It wasn't really a real mystery to anybody, unless you're Ray Charles.
Yeah.
It's Carmella.
Yeah, it was the Queen of Staten Island. Who's
No.
Queen of Staten Island anymore.
She is no longer the Princess of Staten Island.
Princess of Staten Island.
She is no longer the trash-talking...
Moonwalking.
I forgot what the rest of her line was.
Yeah, but what is she now?
She's just Carmella.
She's Carmella.
She's a badass... I almost said it.
Mm-hmm.
She's a bad mofo now.
She Mafia style doing it.
Ooh, that'd be good. That'd be a nice little...
Mafia style. There we go.
WWE still another line from us. And then we go on to the rest of the night. We had 2 terrible filler matches with Sheamus beating the crap out of Shorty G and Shinsuke Nakamura and Cesaro beating the crap out of Lucha House Party, which both matches went all of 8 minutes combined.
As far as Cesaro and Shinsuke, the tag division's terrible
on that brand.
Even across the board, though. I mean,
true.
Across the board, it's terrible, and it's so tough. I personally, Champ personally feels that eliminate the 2 individual tag team titles and just have one set of tag team titles and let them roll on either show.
Kind of like the women's.
Yeah, kind of like the women's tag titles. Which are, slowly stepping out of relevancy for the second time now, because they haven't done much with it since, Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler became the women's tag team.
Well, they also have 19.
Yeah, well,
supposedly.
But I say just get rid of the Raw and SmackDown tag team champs and just do a tournament to have your undisputed tag team champions and just let them float between both shows.
Yeah.
Because it's so tough to keep a thick talent pool of tag teams across 2 shows. I mean, you have like 3 or 4 teams on each show. And
then you have a team like Heavy Machinery,
who aren't even a tag team right now.
Yeah,
and they're all fine. But I mean, they have Otis playing out the Money in the Bank.
Yeah, I know
story and the Mandy Rose story, which I think will get a little spicier come the draft time.
Yep. Then you have the Viking Raiders, but unfortunately Ibar got injured, so he's not on TV right now. And then it's just like they just kind of like, oh, let's take you and the guy over in catering and see how that works out.
Yeah, no, they just put names on a wall and started throwing darts.
Like, we have the draft coming up. This is a great time to bring up the Undisputed Era, where you can bring up Kyle O'Reilly. I'm losing names here. Adam Cole.
Baby.
You can bring up Roderick Strong. You can bring up the other tag team partner. I forget his name. I apologize. There's some other guys you can bring up to maybe elevate the division again. But I digress. Then we go on to the rest of the night, and then we had... Help me out here again.
It was... we talked about the Sami Zayn Jeff Hardy match?
No, we did not talk about Sami Zayn
Jeff Hardy match.
Sami Zayn Jeff Hardy... Oh, we were talking... The Shorty G match and Sheamus.
Oh, yeah.
That was just terrible. I don't need to go over anything.
I feel bad for...
Shorty G?
Yeah, Shorty G, Chad Gable. Ever since they tried that horrendous effort with Jason Jordan to make him a singles superstar and the whole Kurt Angle's My Father storyline. American Alpha was an awesome tag team. They were
great tag team.
They were fantastic. They worked together. But I feel bad for, good old Shorty G there because it's just...
I don't want to call him Shorty G. Let's call him by his real name.
Chad Gable.
Let's call him Chad Gable.
Chad Gable.
The man's an Olympian.
Yes, he is an Olympian, although he didn't win with a broken freaking neck.
No.
But what's playing against him is just his stature. I mean, the dude
is jacked.
And he deadlifted Big E flat-stomached on the ground with no assistance
and then suplexed him.
Like, come on. I'm convinced he could go toe-to-toe with anyone in the WWE as far as strength.
You know what I would love to see Shorty G do? Chad Gable do? Rebrand him as Chad Gable, as the American hero that he is supposed to be. and then send him to NXT to go do the cruiserweight thing. Let him be down there for a little bit. Let us forget about him on the main roster, and then bring him back up as Chad Gable and him a viable person going for the...
Chad Gable, the American Alpha.
Ooh, I like that. And then he starts going for the U.S. title, and he starts going for the IC title 2, 3, 4 years, and then you can send him on his way maybe for a heavyweight tape. He's the same height as Daniel Bryan, and he can wrestle just like Daniel Bryan.
Yes.
Make it happen.
Yeah, make it happen, WWE. Now,
you know what? Hashtag give Chad Gable a chance.
Yes, give Gable a chance.
There you go.
Because he's ready, willing, and Gable.
And
Gable.
Gable, I forgot. My bad.
Gable.
Wow, that took a lot.
Yeah.
I had a lot in me on that one.
Yeah, you let a lot out there.
Whew.
The champ felt the decompression.
I feel good now.
Yeah, felt the decompression in the room.
Yeah, wow.
So, and then so now we have Jeff Hardy, Mr. Samuel Zayn, a.k.a. The Beard, and that was a good match.
It was a great match.
Great match. Sami Zayn, very underrated. I don't know why they never utilized him more in his time. Because by far, I think when it comes to committing to a character and getting into that character, especially delivering promos, Sami Zayn is
great on the microphone.
Fantastic on the microphone. And especially playing heel.
Yeah,
I like him. I mean, as a face, he was cool, but as a heel, I like him a lot more.
He's got a lot of substance as a heel character, and he plays a heel character very, very well. He does it extremely well, and then he moves really, really well as a heel. As a face, he kind of gets dull, and I think WWE also, take our word for this, you need to change his music as well.
Yeah, the heel character with the upbeat, poppity ska music, like it's from Tony Hawk Pro Skater. That doesn't really fit the character right now. Give him more of that darker.
Give him
slower,
that what was that?
Give him the Cuban national anthem.
You give him that.
Yeah, it'll fit. It works.
Just give him something.
You're giving
else.
him the Great Liberator.
Yeah.
Deal. We know what you're copying. We know what you're going for. Just give him the music that fits it.
Yeah.
Character will be complete at that point.
And then we move into the main. Wait, did I miss a match? I think I'm missing a match. Am I missing a match?
I don't know. Let's see if we're missing a match here. We're going to refer to our notes, people. Like I said, we are relatively unorganized, especially with.
Yeah, I missed something. We missed
that.
Oh, we missed 2 segments.
Yes, we did.
So our
we missed 2 big segments here.
Let's talk about the Kevin Owens one first.
Yes.
So Kevin Owens comes over for the brand whatever crap thing.
Zippity doo dah.
Zippity doo dah. And he's interviewing Alexa Bliss. And he's talking about Alexa Bliss and how she's changed and how much darker she is and all this. And he's like, is the Fiend... Can you stop?
Shiny.
Stop.
Just like the hat.
Well, that's shiny too. Sorry. We like shiny things.
Shiny.
So we go into that, and he's interviewing her, and he's like, he's always around. He's always around. He's always listening. And then Kevin Owens gets freaked out, and then the Fiend music hits. And the Fiend comes out, and Mandible Claws Kevin Owens, and yeah, didn't see that coming. Yeah. Oh, and then, I'm sorry, and then after he's done, he made a call for a good minute, too. Like, he wasn't just like, he was like in there. He was like doing some work down there. He was trying to hit that little dingly thing in the back of his throat.
Yeah, he was trying to do Cardi B to him.
Yeah, and then he sends his hand out to Alexa Bliss, and she accepts, and then black.
I personally think that the Fiend is going to get moved to Raw.
You think so?
Yeah. They have no intention right now of having Roman Reigns lose the title or have anyone really come up to threaten his title until The Rock comes. And the champ's, personal fact statement here. So I think he's going to go to Raw and he's going to give Mr. Drew McIntosh Apple
but here's the thing.
A run for his money.
So we've had this conversation. We've had this conversation personally with each other. I don't think the Fiend needs to have the belt or to be chasing a belt.
But who else is on SmackDown for the Fiend to chase or to mess with? You need someone gigantic.
Well, you don't need someone gigantic because the Fiend himself is a big character. already. He already is that he's getting to that level of the Undertaker style when he shows up, it's important. He's never wrestled on SmackDown. He's never wrestled on Raw. He only wrestles at pay-per-views. So he already is a bigger deal than most wrestlers.
Yeah.
So what do? You put him with somebody who's in that mid-level who needs a little extra kick. So what do? Someone like Kevin Owens who needs that little kick right now, it's going to skyrocket him.
Yeah. I mean, but you got to have the Fiend, start winning here and there more too.
But the thing is that it doesn't hurt him anymore.
Yeah, but if he loses, it takes away from that,
Okay, so let's go back.
Factor. Like he's got to win more. I mean, he can still lose, but I mean, I feel like they're just going to have him lose forever.
The Undertaker lost a lot.
I know,
and a lot,
but he won.
He won at the biggest stage.
Yeah, he won, but he won a lot also.
Yeah, he did, but he won on bigger stages. It didn't matter if it was a SmackDown or if it was a Backlash. He won at the bigger shows. He won at Survivor Series. He won at SummerSlam. He won at Survivor Series. He won at WrestleMania. That's when you want him to win. Clash Champions, you don't need him to win. Payback, you don't need him to win.
I feel like, though, like Hell in a Cell is a pay-per-view where if the Fiend's going to be on it, he needs to win.
Absolutely, I agree with you on that one.
That name entitles, him winning.
And that's when it's a good time to start the feud. We're going to start the feud right now with him and Kevin Owens. Go 2-3 pay-per-views, maybe only 2, because Survivor Series is right after that. And you go from there. But, I'm going to probably get more flack than you are in this one. The Fiend does not need to chase titles. He just needs to be chasing that upper mid-card talent. And then when they need someone with some someone with a resume who's beaten guys, that's when you bring the Fiend in to win a title. We always give Vince crap about this, but I finally see it why he does it, and why Taker never needed to hold the title all the time. Taker only was like an 8-time champion or something like that.
I think so. In his 800-year career.
Like he never needed the belt, but when he had the belt, it was special.
Yeah, but Undertaker was also always in really good storylines.
And Fiend it's not like he's in bad storylines.
I know, but I think what
you're so caught up on him being this ultra big persona that he should be having every championship draped on it. But the thing is, as soon as he gets every championship draped on him, and he has the titles for a few months, we're going to get tired of him. Like we do with Roman Reigns. LOL, Roman Reigns wins. LOL, John Cena wins.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, I feel like they're making him lose a lot lately. Hey, just throw him going. Let him win. Let him win at Hell in a Cell.
Okay, he might win at Hell in a Cell.
And you know what? Give him a good storyline. Have him start building up a gigantic cult following. You know what would be really good? Follow me on this one. Ooh, the champ is zooming here. Okay. You ready?
I'm ready.
Are you buckled in? Are you strapped down for this roller coaster ride we're about to go on? Because the champ is about to take you on some crazy spins like you're inside a washing machine. Okay? You have the Fiend build up a cult following. Okay? And you give him some bad dudes. Right? You give him like Braun Strowman. You give him a lot of these just big, mean, nasty men. Right? Then, here's what you do. It's going to be great. Seth Rollins. I said it. Seth Rollins. Keep his Messiah character going. Have him build up his own following to try and overthrow the Fiend's dominance. You keep the Messiah character. You turn him face because Seth Rollins can only be heel for so long before we want to see him as the good guy again. Mm-hmm. Make him face. Have him build up that Messiah following. Overthrow the Fiend's cult following. You can run that for like a year and a half. God, that's fantastic. They need to hire me now.
You just gave Vince like 2 years worth of material there.
Hire me.
And we're never going to get paid for it.
Pay me. I want my reparations.
And then we go on to the rest of the night, and then we have our other segment, which was Sasha Banks coming out and addressing Bayley.
Karen.
And her neck brace.
Yes.
And she delivers this very passionate FU promo to Karen and just lights her up.
And she did not let Karen speak to the manager.
Oh, Karen wasn't there.
Yeah, she didn't let her speak to the manager. She eliminated Karen from the equation so she couldn't speak to the manager.
So they're going to have a match next week on SmackDown.
Which will get pushed to Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
Because Karen's going to use something to get the old cheesy DQ.
Actually, what probably is going to happen is that Karen's going to get drafted to Raw.
Yeah?
And then she's going to be, well, I'm on Raw. I have my belt. There's nothing you can do about it. Beep, beep. And then all of a sudden,
Sasha
Banks wins the belt at Hell in a Cell, which she rightfully should be winning that after she got powerbombed to hell by Charlotte Flair in that main event a couple years ago.
Yeah, that was a good match.
That was a good match.
Very good match.
Where she couldn't break the table because she was so late.
Yeah, when you weigh less than the table, it's tough to break said table.
But I think that's going to be really, really... I think that's probably the way they're going to play that storyline. And if it's right, you're welcome.
Yeah. And if it's not right, it's because they switched it up on us.
Again. I think I hit everything, didn't I?
Yeah, we covered everything here. Everything I needed, we covered all the major talking points that the people out there graciously care about. So, other than that,
we talked about
everything. I mean, it was
the draft. We
got to get to the draft here. But I mean, overall, our review of the week, this week in wrestling, I'm
going to give Raw a C.
Overall, I'm just going to give the whole week as Durham. I'm going to give it a C for the whole week.
I'm going to give Raw a C. I'm going to give SmackDown a B.
Yeah, it averages out.
Too bad a C+.
Yeah.
But that's what's going on in wrestling. We are going to quickly, I'm going to meet quickly, probably next X amount of minutes, go over the draft.
Yeah.
Draft. We're not going to go over like every person and where they're going to go. We're just going to hit some big topics.
Yeah, some big topics.
I feel, like I already said, I think Karen's going to go over to SmackDown, or from SmackDown to Raw, and then drop the belt to the Sasha. What do you is there anything else that you can see maybe going on?
I can see. We were talking about this one. I personally like it. Mandy Rose is now on Raw.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, and due to the hands of Ms. Morrison.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I have a feeling that because they were trying to get Mandy and Otis apart from each other, Champ has a feeling that Miz and Morrison are going to get drafted to Raw, and Otis is going to get drafted to Raw as well. So that way, it's kind of a ha.
So you're splitting up Heavy Machinery.
Well, I didn't say that entirely. They could bring all of Heavy Machinery over.
Oh, okay.
They could bring one, but just for the sake of this storyline here, I feel that's going to be a happening.
So you're thinking maybe like night one, Miz and Morrison get drafted over to Raw, and then the following Monday night, probably like last pick or something the night.
Otis, baby.
I like it.
I also see Braun Strowman getting a permanent fixture on Raw.
Yeah, I think he was already going to be there already.
So,
but I think it works out better for him on Raw anyways.
Yeah, just because, with SmackDown, they're trying to make a play for a very nice storyline.
Uh-huh.
And I do think that they're doing this whole family storyline, which we've been talking about for a while, that they should have done something like this with Roman Reigns just thrashing his whole family, a while ago. Actually, so, Vince stealing our ideas again.
And also, I think NXT is going to be next to gutted.
Yeah, no, they need the two main shows need just a plethora of
influx of talent.
Of newer, younger talent, too. Just to start building and giving some of these older guys new challenges.
Because you can't have another week of Chad Gable versus Sheamus and Shinsuke Nakamura and Sheamus versus the Lucha
and Matt Riddle versus King Corbin again and again and again. I love the Riddle bro, but I'm getting tired of seeing him face the same guy.
We need some freshness. So I think this is where we finally get the refreshing that we wanted.
And you know what else? This hit me too. That was a great idea. I was listening to on the Champ's travels. He listens to a lot of podcasts, shows. One I'm a big fan of is 83 Weeks with Conrad Thompson and Eric Bischoff, which love your guys' show. Be happy to be on there as a guest for you one day. Boost your ratings a little bit.
Or you guys want to come here?
Yeah, or come here. Either way, we'll work with you. The Champ can always pencil you guys into his schedule. Always an open slot for you too. Anyways, he had mentioned something of companies now have the habit of advertising matches a week in advance.
Correct.
Especially matches with no major story.
Correct.
Right? You know, like next week we're going to have Matt Riddle and King Corbin.
Again.
But there's still no story behind it. So what he had said was to kind of keep things more interesting, even if you're going to do the same match 2 weeks in a row, don't advertise it. Just let it come out as a surprise to you. Take advantage of the fact that it's live TV. You know, even if you're going to put together an impromptu match against, you know, like AJ Styles and Jay. You know, just let it happen. You know, don't advertise any of it. Don't, you know, just let the magic of live TV work.
Yeah. We also do know what's going on in the regular world. I'm going to take my kind of character out of this right now. We also know what's going on in the regular world where, you know, things are happening. We know that the Performance Center just had a huge... I'm going to kind of get out of this. We know that the Performance Center just had their big break with... we call it the 19th just because we don't want to get in trouble for saying what's going on. But we know that happened. We know that the WWE is going through a bit of an issue right now. But the thing is that I watched the 24 documentary on the pandemic with WrestleMania this year, and when baseball wasn't playing, when basketball went out, when football wasn't happening, no hockey, no nothing basically,
no sports
were being played, where ESPN was covering esports,
cornhole tossing.
We still had the WWE.
Yeah, they were there.
They were still there. And actually, that's what made both of us decide to do this.
Yes.
Was because they were still continuing to deliver us content.
Yes.
Week in and week out. And it became bigger. I can't believe how many people, like in TikTok, there's this huge community of people on TikTok that are just wrestling-based people, and they're great people. And to be now a part of this community with guys like, we make fun of them all the time, and we're poking and prodding, but like Wrestle Talk.
Yeah.
What Culture. Cultaholics. Give me another one.
There's a ton of them out there.
There's too many to... The Elitist is a good one. We give the Elitist a lot of credit because he came to us very early on in our endeavors. So I give him a lot of credit as well for coming on.
Our first subscriber, actually.
He was our first subscriber.
The Elitist. Your first subscriber.
But the thing is that they're there every week for us.
Yep.
And they're there to deliver us content. And you know what? We deserve as fans to kind of go back and say the same thing is, hey, thank you. And that's why sometimes you see us not give crap to them.
Yeah.
Or anything like that. And I'm just going to put this out there myself. I didn't tell you about this beforehand. I'm going completely off cuff. To the Senator Andrew Wang, Yang, whatever his name is, stop giving WWE so much crap. Go away.
Yeah, let WWE entertain and do what they do, and you know, and again, that's why we want to do this for a while because this is all we do is blabber about this all the time.
And we talk about it all the
so,
time.
and we just decided to do it mostly. Someone got really bored one day and just said, "Hey, I'm forcing us to do this." So, and we'll give it to you the content the best we can. Aside from the champ's busy schedule and travels here, tough for me to keep up on everything.
Yep.
But I do my best. I do what I can.
We are normal people.
Yeah,
well.
I do have an outside schedule that is a little hectic at sometimes, considering my my alter ego profession outside of the champ's ego here, and so. It's just, but we do our best, and that's why we started off as uncut and unedited because we're just going to do it, boom, boom, boom. It came out raw and real, and we wanted to, move to do all sports now.
Yeah.
Now that sports back, everyone loves sports, and more sports. But we're still that same MO of uncut, unedited, one take. If you see the disorganization, if we mess up, fantastic. We're not going to be perfect for you.
Like we've been filming for the last 45 minutes.
44 and 25 seconds. Sir.
25 seconds. And you know what? I'm not going to cut any of this.
Yep, nope.
I do the editing, by the way.
Which is just click and load.
Well, no. I try to put, some nicey things. I do my best as I can. But, this is us coming off, and thank you also for anyone who does subscribe to us.
Yes, who
and who listens to the
nonsense,
that comes out of our mouths.
Yes,
but yeah, man, we really went off topic tonight.
Hey, it happens.
But guys,
I'm sure we'll go worse one day.
Probably.
One day we're going to be talking about wrestling. We're going to go on to the topic of cupcakes.
It's happened before.
It'll happen again.
But guys, thank you very much.
Yes, and also, the Champs United Nations Tour has officially been confirmed. I'm going to hit 17 nations in 2 days.
18.
Huh?
18-3.
No, I only got 17. The 18th one hasn't committed on yet.
They just got it right there. It just came in.
Oh, it did just come in. 18. 18 in 3 days. The champ's going to try and jump ahead. Maybe he can do 20 in 3 days for you there. So get your tickets now. It's going to be, I'm just going to pop in. So get your pre-sale tickets wherever you're at, and just the champ will be there. Just get in line. You get your autograph. You get your photo with the champ. You get your signed mini replica champ belt with a champ signature, with the replica of champ signature on the belt as well. You might even get the champ sheriff hat here. And by the way, my thing just came through, and it's still pending for another day if I'm going to be marshal or not.
Guys, have a great rest of your night. Have a good one. We'll see you on Wednesday for a This Week in Sports. Have a great rest of your night. Peace out.
Peace.
And one last thing. You want to say it tonight? You want me to say it?
If you don't like what we have to say, buy your tickets to the champ show and beat me in a fight.